Hello, so today I'll be telling you the story of Carl Benz, and Carl Benz was the original and also the founder of Mercedes-Benz, this type of car which we use today, and also like this type of car because of its luxury, and it is one of the most sought out type of cars in the world because of its luxurious, and also it is oftenly bought by high-end people and also rich people. So I'll be telling you the story of Carl Benz, which he was a poor boy, and also some of the things which he went through life were complete struggles. But in the end, he was able to see his company become the big company which he had a vision in. And also one of the things which people are not familiar with is that Mercedes-Benz and also Carl Benz was the first person in the world to produce an automobile car which was used and also run by oil. And this oil was something which was never heard about during those times of 1880s over there. The most and also type of car which was used was the steam engine. And if you could have told somebody about the oil engine and also a type of engine which is run by oil or gas, it will be something which is very impossible, and many people will just brush you off, just like what they did to Carl Benz. So I'll be telling you the story of Carl Benz, which he was born in Germany in the year of 1844. He was born into a family where they were not well off. The father was a locomotive driver, and being a locomotive driver, he was able to cater and also feed his family. And this was cut short later in the years, after 2 years, where the father was able to succumb to a death. I don't know the nature of and also the circumstances of the death, which the father was able to leave a 2-year-old son, which was Carl Benz, with his mother, and the mother was able to educate the child and also take the child to school. And this later on the child grew a fond of cars and also liked certain types of engines, like the engines which were driven by steam engines, and this was a liking which also his father had. So later on, Carl Benz was able, and also his career was able to be pushed forward by a teacher which he was able to meet in college, and this teacher was the main teacher which was talking about steam engines, and also this teacher was talking about the future, that one day in the future there will be type of engines like the engines which are driven by gasoline, and this is some of the things which people saw impossible. So after Carl Benz was able to finish his college and also high school, he was able now to venture his career in working into other type of industries, where he was able to acquire and also gain skills in making cars, and also he knew about this type of cars and how the cars worked. So that's when, after 7 years, as he was walking from one company to another, he later on decided to settle, and he was able to marry a woman called Bada during that time. After I don't know what time it was really, but it was around 1850s to 1860s over there. So that's when he was able to meet his partner, where this partner, they were able to partner up, where they would be able to make ironworks, and this they started an ironwork company, where this ironwork will be able to make car components and also components of bicycles and also locomotive machines. During that time, they used to melt iron and also cast it into other type of things. And one of the things which this particular partner and also Carl Benz had is that Carl Benz was working on a side work and also a side hustle, where he was trying to invent a type of engine which will be run by gasoline and also petrol. And this was later on made possible by his hard work and also his push and also his focus, which was also brought about by his wife, because during that time they were having some disagreements with that time partner, because that time partner was not very serious in his work, because he was letting him down, because also he was running into trouble by the police, and also this led to some of the things and also some of the machines in the company to be confiscated by the police. And this made particularly the wife very angry about this particular person, because this person was letting down Carl Benz and also his dream to make a particular car which will also revolutionize and also help. The first person which saw Carl Benz's dream was his wife, and the wife was a very rich woman because she was born in a rich family. And also money was not the problem. So what the wife did, he bought up all the shares which was owned by his partner and was able now to start a company with Carl Benz. And this company was able now to run by the two couples, couples, and they were able now to found this company and also boost the company. So this particular wife was able to nurture, and also he was able to work together with Carl Benz in making some types of engines. And this is when they were able to have a breakthrough later on in the years of 1870s over there. And that's when they were able to make a particular car which was fully run by oil and also gas. And at that time, the car wasn't going so fast. It was going around 5 kilometers per hour, which during that time people were using horse carts which were being pulled by horses. And this was very the amount of power which it was producing, it was very low, going about even less than 7 kilometers per hour. So at first, many people were very speculative of this particular car which this person had made, Carl Benz. And many people were afraid of this car because one of the reasons is that the car, many people had speculations and also thought that the car will be able to explode as they were driving it, because it was producing a lot of sounds. And this also made the sales of the car not be to be popular, and also not many people to opt for this particular type of car. And many people were wondering why Carl Benz was spending a lot of time into this particular type of engines, when these engines were not so reliable, because it wasn't going even any faster, and also it needed a lot of mechanical repair along the way. That's when now later on, when the car components had started becoming a little bit famous, the bank now started saying that their company, they should have it also have other partners where they will be able to manage it even better. That's when now that particular company, which the wife and also Carl Benz had started, now reduced in the amount of shares. And also that's when Carl Benz now started owning 5% of the shares of that company from 100% of the shares. And most of the things which he was implementing and also he was asking to be done was not being implemented, and most of the things they were just brushing him off. So that's when now Carl Benz now decided to now start another company and leave this company alone, because his future and also his dream was not being fulfilled. So that's when now he was able to partner up with a particular person and also two brothers which were making bicycles. And after partnering up with these people, Carl Benz also went to his old habits, where he will go alone and also try to make a type of engines, and also try to further on the particular bicycle which was particularly that during that time. And that's when now also his wife was being supportive, where they will come together and also try to discuss on the type of components which will be put on this particular type of bicycle. That's when now later on in the year of 1880, they were able to have a breakthrough, where they were able to make a tricycle where it had one wheel on the front and also two wheels on the front, on the back, where at the middle it had an engine which was being propelled by that type of oil engine which Carl Benz was making. And this became very famous during that town of it, but it wasn't so famous that many people wanted to have and also own this particular car. And this was a huge blow for Carl Benz, because many people were speculating that this particular type of tricycle was not the best, because why buy this type of tricycle which was worth more than the typical and also normal tricycle, which was steam engine and also was using a horse to pull it down. And this is one of the things which let Carl Benz very down, because not many people were wanted to be associated with that type of car, and also not many people were seeing the dream. And during that time in 1880, this was the first automobile car ever made in the world. So we can say Carl Benz and also Mercedes-Benz made something which was nowhere in the world, and also revolutionized the motor industry. And this is one of the achievements which not so many people know. So during the 1880, it's when now the wife decided to use this tricycle to travel from one location to another location, which was 66 kilometers. And this location was very far, and also this will be the first adventure of someone using this particular type of tricycle to travel that long distance for over 50 kilometers. So she embarked the journey even without telling the husband. And in the morning she just woke up and also now started traveling, just going to on her journey. When she was going on her journey, she was able to meet other people on the way, and these people now started becoming aware about this particular tricycle, which was being driven by a woman, and also it was having producing some large sounds. And also, although it was producing sounds, it reached to its destination without any type of problem. And also some of the problems which it had encountered on the way, the wife was able to fix it. And some of the things like putting gasoline on the car, the wife was able to buy it along the way. So it was the first automobile and also motor car which was able to travel that long distance, and this put a name, and also this publicized that particular car. And that's now when now people started buying that car, and also many people started paying attention to what Carl Benz was doing. So later on, after this was being popularized, many people now started buying this particular type of automobile, and they started getting revenue out of this particular automobile which they had produced. And it was the first automobile of that such type to be made in the world. So later on, during the 1890s, it is when somebody was able to make a similar automobile, but it was more better than what Carl Benz had made, because at that time it was the first automobile which resembles the modern car, which it has four wheels on the front and two wheels on the front, and also two wheels on the back, which just resembles the current motor vehicle which we have today. And also it had a chassis. So this particular car also gave a lot of competition to Carl Benz, and many people now started buying this car. And also it was very luxurious, and also it had seats which will accommodate even more people. Now Carl Benz, now the type of car which he had made also started declining in sales. And that's when now later on in the years, this particular person which made this car was called Dalma. And Dalma was the founder, and also they had another partner which was called Maybach. And Dalma was known for his being shrewd in business, and he was a very smart person in business, and he was the type of person which no one would like to compete with in during business, because he was smart, and also he did a lot of invention, and also he was known for his ability to run companies very well. So that's when now Dalma and made that particular car. And later on in the years, during the 1900s, Dalma was unfortunately passed away, and that's when now his partners took over the company. And that's when they made a particular car which was racing, called a Mercedes. And that Mercedes was running about that, it had that almost that five was running almost at 5 miles per hour. And this was the first racing car, and also it was the first race in the track which was winning a lot of races. And also this made it more popular and also being sought out even more. And this after the Carl Benz and also had seen this car being liked by people and also being sought out by other people, the partners which had partnered up with Carl Benz now started looking at this car and also wanting the car which was made by Carl Benz to look like the cars which the Dalma were making. So what they did, they hired some particular designers from France to design a particular car which looked and also had similar features to the Mercedes. And that's when now they made a particular car, although this car didn't sell very well. And that's when now Carl Benz now started seeing that the company which he had made, the other investors were now having a lot of say and also wanted a lot of attention on their own things, not what Carl Benz was saying. That's when now Carl Benz decided to just step aside and also leave this company for them. And that's now when the company was able to ask Carl Benz if he would be able to allow those Mercedes-Benz to those cars produced by Benz. And that company was created by Benz at that time, was called Benz and Co. And that's when now he allowed those cars of Benz to race on the speed track with the competitors, which were Mercedes. And that's when now Benz now started racing and also winning races and producing cars which were going up to 200 200 miles per hour. And this also made the type of cars and also type of speed which these cars were going to be very famous, and many people now started sorting out of these cars and looking for these cars, and they were winning every type of races in during that time. And many people now started having a like for that type of car of Benz, and this also brought its name also further, and this also helped the owner and also the maker of Benz and also popularized his cars as he had intended to. But during that time, no one had seen that future. Only him and also his wife were able to venture and also push this dream of theirs. And that's when now in 1910s over there, they were able to be hit by the World War One. And also this World War One was very tragic for them because during that time most of the things were not operating fully. Not many people were able to afford and also buy these particular cars which they were making. That's when now they decided to merge with the Dalma side, which were making the Mercedes, and also now to make a name called Dalma Benz. And now that's where now it started having that name of Mercedes-Benz, because Dalma had made their make, which was Mercedes, and Benz Corporation had made their car, which was called Benz. So they started merging and also trying to work together, because during the World War One things were very hard for them. So they had to work together so that they can be able to be kept afloat, because during that time there was so much economic pressure on them. So working together, now they were able, now later on in the years, they said a contract of 2 years for them to be working together. But this contract was able to be extended, and that's now when they were able to merge to become Dalma Benz. And that's now when they were able to now started producing cars of their own and also racing cars during that time. So this was later on boosted in the year of 1930s over there, when now during that time the most and also favorite people's leader, which was Hitler, now started popularizing the car and also insisted the car to be made that particular type of way which the Dalma Benz were making. And that's now when Hitler started using the Dalma Benz and also started using that car, and this made the car even more popular to many people, and its name now started being known as the Mercedes-Benz. So Hitler also proposed and also made the Mercedes-Benz to race on tracks, and which made the Mercedes-Benz be the leading racer of cars during that time. During 1935 to 1939, it became the top racing car during that time. Even today, we see Mercedes-Benz cars as the top racer in tracks, and this was made by Hitler during that time. And now Hitler being able to propose this type of cars and also made subsidies for making those type of cars. And this also showed and also showcased the type of ingenuity which is in Germany. And also this was a profit for Hitler, because now many people started respecting the country of Germany for its quality goods which it produces. So that's when now Hitler, later on, the World War II now struck, and also the Mercedes-Benz was going through a hard and also hard economic level where nobody wanted to buy their cars. Only the cars during that time which were being bought, but they were being bought by the army. No one would want to risk buying any car, because during that time it is a war period. The car will be bombed, or during that time it was a hard economic situation for everybody in Germany. So that's when now trucks and also type of engines which were used by the Germany aircraft during the World War II were being made by Mercedes. And one of the things which they relied on was the type of quality, and also this also was a downside for them, because as other countries were not thinking about qualities, Germany was thinking about quality and trying to make its inventions to be quality and also be of the standards. The other countries were just making goods and also aeroplanes just anyhowly. Germany was just thinking about the quality of which it makes. And this is one of the reasons which led to Germany being able to lose during the World War II, because it was making smaller goods, but they had so much quality. And these other people like the United States, the other countries were making goods which were not even up to standard. They were just making them for the just of the use. And this led to other countries to have more and also superior weapons than Germany. So later on, now Mercedes-Benz, after the World War II ended, now many people now started distancing themselves with the Mercedes-Benz, because they knew Mercedes-Benz was making cars for the Nazi and also Germany. And that's now when Mercedes-Benz had to have a treaty with the United States to now have a particular company be installed in United States, so that the cars could be sold in United States and also other parts of the countries. And during this time also, Mercedes-Benz was to pay other countries a lot of money, because some of the damages which it has caused because of the cars which it had produced, and also the engines which it had produced. Remember, it was producing steam engines and also trucks. So that's now when now Mercedes-Benz was able to come back during the 1947. They were able now to come back because of the cars which it produced, and also the racing track was specifically made for Mercedes-Benz cars, and they were winning all the racing tracks. And during that time, there was a particular designer which was Porsche, which was later on making the Porsche cars. But this particular designer was making cars during the 1930s over there for Hitler, and also was in the Hitler regime during that time. And he was one of the designers of the Mercedes-Benz. His name was called Porsche. So later on, now we know Mercedes-Benz to what it is today and what it does today. And many people like Mercedes-Benz because of its luxury, and also it cars being able to come from very far. And one of the things which has supported Mercedes-Benz is the World War II, which they were able to gain a lot of wealth and revenue by making cars of the government, and also Hitler being able to use their cars and also support their cars. Although Mercedes-Benz is a nice car, and also I have no problem with the car, it's on top, and also the top-notch type of cars which are produced. And that's the story of Mercedes-Benz. I hope you like this video, and also I hope you come back for the next video. And one thing, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and also subscribe to this channel, where I'll be releasing more future and also stories about companies and also other things which you might like. So give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to this channel. Till we meet next time.